Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of NFL Dynasty Picks. We're on week 7, coming off week 6, another tumultuous week where we saw a lot of domination in the games, and we saw a lot of coming back in games. There were a lot of good games. I'm not going to talk about two specific games where the Pittsburgh Steelers won or the Philadelphia Eagles won. I'll just let those games and those teams speak for themselves. Let's talk about week 7, though. First game we're going to talk about in detail. Excuse me, this is mine, even though I am unbiased.
No bias.
The first game we're going to talk about is Atlanta going to Detroit. Phil, who you have?
Alright, well, we got Atlanta coming off a pretty easy win against Carolina when Carolina was somehow favored in the game. They found a bit of their identity with running the ball with Michael Turner again. You got a very pissed off Detroit Lions team that had their coach get a little manhandled by Mr. Harbaugh.
Yeah, what was up with that?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that they're going to send a message to some other teams. They're going to take the aggression that they wanted to take out on the 49ers. They're going to take it out on the Falcons. So I got the Lions winning this game.
This game shouldn't be as hard as I'm making it out to be. Let me tell you something. Detroit has been on a roll. They are undefeated all the way up into this last game, which case was a close game. It came down to the last couple minutes there. Atlanta has not been a consistent team out there. These are two dome teams, so I don't think the atmosphere is really going to affect Atlanta too much, being down in Detroit. But because Detroit lost, I think I'm going to have to go with Detroit on this one. If Detroit won last week, I might have picked Atlanta this week to come up with the upset, but they're not going to lose 2 games in a row because they are trying to gear themselves up for the Green Bay Packers in a couple weeks. So I'm going to go with Detroit.
I'm going to have to pick Atlanta. I think they're going to have absolutely no statistics on, no idea of their statistics or what they're doing statistically at all, but
what would you like to know?
I'm going to pick Atlanta. Huh?
What would you like to know?
It doesn't matter. They're going to win. They're going to try to keep pace. No, they're not going to dominate. Not even going to get close to dominating because, I mean, I don't think they're that good, but they're going to at least try to keep pace with keep pace in the division.
Tampa?
Yeah.
Those guys?
Yeah.
You sure?
You know I know the NFC South, man. Stop joking. It's not fake.
You sure?
Detroit, huh?
You sure?
I'm not sure about what.
What you're saying?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I'm 100% sure. I'm 100% confident. Remember, like I said, objectivity is the word of the week.
Well, it's very good that we are 3 people who are completely objective when it comes to our picks. I cannot stress to you how much. Speaking of which, those were some great games last week. What do you think about the few of the victories that you saw? How was that Philly Washington game?
It happened exactly as I said it was going to happen.
Did you enjoy it?
It happened exactly as we
I
all
predicted
said it was
it.
going to happen.
I predicted it perfectly. I predicted that Rex Grossman would destroy it.
I think we all said that, and I was the only one foolish enough to hope that the Redskins would squeak out a victory.
No, I hope the Redskins were going to win, but I just...
Yeah, but you picked Philly. Like, you picked right. I'm the only one that picked wrong. Like, I should have said, I hope Redskins win, but I'm picking Philly.
Yeah, I said I hope Rex Grossman proves me wrong, which he did not. He proved me exactly right, and...
now we'll get to see what John Beck does. I think he gets to start a nod after Rex Grossman chucked away for it.
That's going to lead us into the next game.
I don't think Rex Grossman is going to be benched this Sunday. I think he's actually going to start.
Think?
Oh, yeah. He had a bad game. Most stars have had a bad game from time to time. I think Tom Brady threw 4 interceptions one game. You ain't going to bench him.
Well, that's Tom Brady.
You're going to stick with him. So far, he's got you to the 3-1. Well, before they lost to Philly, but everybody knew they were going to lose to the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, next thing we're going to talk about. Well, actually, we're going to briefly talk about this. Seattle versus Cleveland. Joe and Phil here, my colleagues, decided the Cleveland Browns should win it at home against the Seattle Seahawks. Cleveland's trying to stay in the AFC North hunt if they're in the last place.
It will fail.
Seattle, I'm going to go with because I think Seattle is still feeling a little bit bad the fact that they have done absolutely nothing this season after winning the division last year, even though they won 7-9, but also went to the AFC Championship. Denver is going to Miami. Chris, Phil, and Joel all decide that Denver should keep Miami winless next week, which, I have to say I think Denver, who's only won 1 game itself, has all the capabilities to defeat the Miami Dolphins, but I am a little bit of somebody who thinks that no team should go winless, so I hope Miami does come out with a victory there. San Diego travels to New York to face the New York Jets. New York Jets coming off a big victory on Monday.
It's too many. There's still too much internal squabbling going on with them. A win by Miami, where pretty much Darrelle Revis wins the game for you in the beginning of the quarter with the 100-yard interception for a pick six, and game could have ended 7-6 because Miami didn't get in the end zone. Still, Mark Sanchez doesn't look confident at all right now.
You're not sold.
Not sold. Not after a win against Miami. Not when Darrelle Revis has to be your MVP. So I'm gonna go with San Diego.
You want to go with San Diego?
Who they play?
The Jets?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry. For a second, that just sounded like the foolest decision in the world. San Diego has the sixth best offense in the NFL. Not in the top five, but definitely not in the bottom five. Who is in the bottom five? The New York Jets at number 29. New York Jets have been squeaking by all three of their victories, and that's because they face teams that are completely lesser than them. San Diego's not lesser than them. San Diego comes up with a victory.
This is going to have to be a unanimous decision. I have to pick San Diego. San Diego gets better as the season goes on, is what they've proven. They were my pick to win home field advantage throughout the playoffs, and I still back that decision. And they're just going to keep getting better and better. They actually won games. They didn't look really good in those first few games, but they still squeaked out the victories, all except New England. So I think they're just going to go on a roll throughout the rest of the season. So
they were really scary to do that because their trend for the past few years is to start off very slow, just somehow out of nowhere just catch fire in the middle of the season and somehow make the playoffs. So now those games that I guess they themselves believe they would lose, and still have the confidence to make the playoffs at the end, they're winning those. So to get the wins on top of their mid-season form, it's going to be kind of scary to look at for the rest of the season.
Well, everybody has their opinion. San Diego, I think, is going to lose momentum a little bit. Speaking of Pittsburgh, your future world champions, the six-time world champion Pittsburgh Steelers, go to Arizona to face Kevin Kolb and the Arizona Cardinals.
Rematch of Super Bowl.
Yes, it is a rematch of Super Bowl. I wonder who won that one. I tell you one that won, the same team that Joe, Phil, and myself picked to defeat the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday, Pittsburgh Steelers. Kansas City travels to Oakland. Oakland picking up a new quarterback because of the injured Jason Campbell. And because of that, Chris and Joel decided they want to go with the Oakland Raiders to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, where Phil is going to be the odd man out and pick the Kansas City Chiefs.
I expect to be wrong on that one, too.
Do you?
I'm going to stick with it.
Well, that made all the sense in the world. I'm pretty sure Oakland can pull out against the Kansas City Chiefs there.
You trust Kyle Bowler?
I trust.
In Kyle Bowler, you too trust.
I trust the Kansas City Chiefs to freak it up again like they do. And they have been doing.
Well, I got two words. Derek McFadden. I definitely trust him.
Okay.
I got a lot of trust in him.
I don't think Kyle Bowler can hand the ball off correctly to Darren McFadden or Michael Bush.
He's still stuck on Kyle Bowler starting. I think Carson Palmer will start.
That's a lead. Coming cold turkey? Practice, no.
I think they're going to start Carson Palmer this Sunday.
I just assume start Terrell Pryor then.
Okay, you can start Philip Milborn for all I care. I'm letting you know they're going to start Carson Palmer on Sunday, and that's why the Oakland Raiders are going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Chicago, Tampa Bay. What you got?
I got Tampa Bay's front four putting a lot of pressure on that still suspect, weak, frail offensive line of Chicago. I think Jay Cutler's going to have another inspirational performance to keep his team in the game. So with that, I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay.
It's a pretty interesting pick. Tampa Bay with Chicago. The reason I call it interesting because I have no idea who I'll pick in this game. This is a bit of a toss-up. The smart money would go Tampa Bay because they're at home. But Chicago has been underperforming.
Do you need to perform that much when you have Devin Hester?
Yeah, you do.
They haven't.
And they have not. They have not been performing. Neither is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay has a record of, what were they, 4-2, I believe.
I thought they were 3-3, but okay.
Yeah, they're 4-2. They're 4-2. They're first in NFC South. They're at home. But their 2 losses made them not look like they might have them fluke victories. And a part of me still thinks they do have that fluke victories. Chicago's a team that can expose them. I don't know. This is a tough one. I'm going to go with Chicago for the upset on this one. That's my upset pick of the week. I'm going to go with Chicago to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this Sunday.
1/4.
Chicago. That's all I gotta say. No particular reason, but Chicago.
You can talk about how Matt Forte is having a career season a little bit, or Devin Hester probably getting the
back to the faith. Back to the faith. I have no faith in any of those players. But Chicago, just because Tampa Bay is, I don't know. I just don't like them. Oh, I'm sorry. Objectivity is the word of the week. So I'm gonna pick Chicago just because, and I will be right, by the way.
Okay, if Chicago wins, I will be right. The only reason I can pick Chicago is I picked them, and you want to ride off my coattails of only losing 2 games last week, sir. That being said,
I didn't even know you picked. I wasn't even listening.
Yeah. Tomorrow. All right. Earlier we talked about the winless Miami Dolphins. Let's talk about the winless St. Louis Rams, who goes to Dallas this Sunday to face the Dallas Cowboys. We all agree the Dallas Cowboys should be able to pull that one off at home, a game that they really do need to win. Well, of course, St. Louis needs to win too because they're winless. But anyway, Green Bay, Minnesota. Green Bay for all 3 of us to defeat the Minnesota Vikings. Washington travels to Carolina. Washington Redskins coming off of a heartbreaking loss. Phil, your 2 teams. I'm sorry, objective. I'm biased.
Okay, that's the objectivity. Still licking my wounds off that Philly game. Okay. If Washington is smart, they won't start Grossman. Who knows what Shanahan's going to do? Think Washington can run on Carolina's just suspect defense or run defense. Probably can pass on their suspect pass defense. But I said the same thing that they'll be able to do the same thing against the Eagles. So I'm gonna go with Carolina.
I'm going to have to go with the Carolina Panthers to pull off this upset too. I think Washington's loss to the Philadelphia Eagles last week was the beginning of the end for the Washington Redskins. Their Cinderella story. Clock struck midnight last week. Philadelphia exposed them for the horrible team that they are. Redskin fans will be silenced. I had in case you don't know, I'm telling the story. I'm telling the story. I work at Home Depot. Yes, I work at Home Depot. Okay? Not going to tell you which one. I'm not doing that for you. But I work at Home Depot. I had a customer come into my service desk and tell me they needed to do a return because the returns cashier was upset because the customer said her team sucks. She took offense to that. Therefore, I had to do the return. And I hope she's watching this video. I got my eye on you. But the bottom line is the Washington Redskins fans had to cry on Sunday. They had to eat crow because they were talking crap all season. Now their season goes down the toilet. They're going to end up 6-10, 7-9 at best, 3-3 after this weekend.
Yeah.
Along with Carolina.
I'm going to go with my still preseason pick and said they're going to go 8-8. And Philly didn't expose them. Philly came in and did what everyone expected them to do from the beginning of the season. And even then they didn't do it well because only won by 7 points.
I'm sorry, I was looking at something that was more interesting than you. There's a clock on my computer here.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Redskins. That was a change pick. Riding over. I was I actually picked against the Redskins the last 2 weeks, so you know, I do think that it really is a shocker because I'm shocked myself because I was not going to pick the Redskins. I was going to pick Carolina, but suddenly I changed my mind.
And this guy can do that. I want to change my pick after listening to this guy talk trash.
Yeah. Ryan Terrain, Roy Hilo, and you know Tim Hightower, they were shut out last week. They had a very I don't even think Tim Hightower even played. So Kyle Shanahan is going to make the right decision. Actually, run the ball like he should have done last week. Feel like he should have run the ball 50 times last week, which is what they should have done. They chose the opposite route, and they chose to expose my man Rex Grossman. As I said, that he would destroy the team, which he did, and hopefully.
Actually, technically, I was wrong because I said Nnamdi, Asante Samuel, and Cromartie were going to get the picks, and the safety, strong safety,
I don't even know who he is.
Eric Coleman comes out of nowhere and gets 3 picks. Like he did, technically, he did what he wasn't. He did the right thing by not throwing to the defensive backs, but then he makes the strong safety, who looks like a bum, a Pro Bowler.
Eric Coleman is now a Hall of Famer due to Rex Grossman. And
that and too many injuries on the offensive line. They lost Lichtensteiger for the year. Trent Williams is out for a couple weeks with a high ankle sprain. There's going to be a whole lot of shuffling on the Redskins offensive line that looked like it was finally on the up and up. And now it's all. Hopefully they can keep that momentum going, but it looks like they're going to go back to the same just weak offensive line that they've had for years. So
don't look good. Redskins this week.
And
but I do think this
Cooley out for the fall. Is Cooley out for the year?
Let's find out.
Because I'm going to have to hit his Twitter if he's out for the year because he has a broken finger.
Let's go to WashingtonRedskins.com and as they clear off the cobwebs.
What you missed the very important point that I made.
24th in points in the NFL, 17th in yards, 17th in passing yards, and 17th in rushing yards. What a great team. What point did you make? Did I miss? What point did you make?
Oh, I'm not going to pick it again. You can see it once you watch the video. But it's something that you wish you would have listened to because you probably would have jumped all over it. But you'll see it in the video.
Chris Cooley is questionable. That's all I got.
It's better than what they were talking about earlier.
Does it say for a finger? Because that's probably last week's injury point. Yeah, that's last week's injury.
Wow, you mean the Redskins can't update their website? Wow.
I ain't like Philly King either.
Anyway, so tomorrow. Alright, so anyway. So there you go with Washington, Carolina. He has Washington, I have Carolina, you had a phone call. How about that one? Alright, let's go right to it. Indianapolis goes to New Orleans. Indianapolis, the last of the 3 teams that are winless. Are they going to come up with a victory this Sunday? We say no. Not against the New Orleans Saints. No. N-O. Baltimore going to face Jacksonville. Jacksonville does not have the firepower to stop the Baltimore Ravens defense. Baltimore, they actually had a very interesting segment on ESPN today talking about can Joe Flacco win the Super Bowl. My answer is no. But they face the Jacksonville Jaguars, they can. And he can. Last thing we want to talk about in detail, Houston travels to Tennessee.
I got Houston. I got nothing else.
That's it? You just got Houston? That's it?
I like Houston's offense more than I like Tennessee.
Do you understand the bad blood between the Houston the Tennessee Titans used to be what team?
The Houston
Oilers. The Houston Oilers. And they just ripped their heart out and took it to Tennessee. And then Houston had to come up with this expansion team with the terrible name of the Texans. This is going to be a heated battle.
I think Houston got over it. Especially since how the Texans look better on paper than Tennessee.
You know, on paper they look better, but are they really better? Are they really better?
Who knows?
All right, but you're going with Houston.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with Houston also. And this is the reason why. Tennessee, not that good. Let's talk about the victories that they had. Let's see who they beat. You know, they're first in the AFC South. They have defeated
Shocking.
Denver Broncos, who are 1-5. Cleveland Browns, who are 2-4, I believe. And lost to Pittsburgh. Look at these teams. All these teams they're beating they have beaten. The 3 teams they've beaten have been winless. Therefore, they're facing another team that actually has a winning record. My prediction, they're going to lose. Houston wins.
You know?
Oh, it's something they beat Baltimore. I'm sorry. They beat Baltimore. That was impressive. I forgot about that one. They're going to lose that.
I almost said unanimous decision and close it out with a Houston win. But now because he just interrupted me, I'm going to switch it to Tennessee. And Matt Hasselbeck is going to have a great game, and now they're going to win.
Wow.
All because, only for that reason.
Did I interrupted you?
Yes.
Okay,
Houston was going to win
fine.
that game because you interrupted me with the rudeness. Now Tennessee will win that game. Only for that reason.
No disrespect to Matt Hasselbeck. He's having a pretty good season.
So because I interrupted you, you're going to pick the team that's going to lose?
No, I'm not going to pick the team that's going to lose. They're certainly going to win because of that.
Joe,
God don't like ugly.
I think whatever drug you and the rest of the Redskins fans are taking, you need to stop. Go to rehab. Immediately. Okay?
Rehab.
Over.
They got like a 3-2 record.
Speaking of over,
they played well.
This week is over. Next week we'll give you a recap and see how everybody's doing, how everybody's faring. I think Phil, I don't know, I ain't doing my homework. I'm sorry, I apologize. I think Phil's still number 1, but I tell you who's climbing. This guy, this guy's climbing, just like the Philadelphia Eagles and Pittsburgh Steelers who turn their season around. Sorry, Philadelphia Eagles will turn their season around because they're 2-4. Pittsburgh Steelers are already turned their season around. They're 4-2, showing that they're going to the Super Bowl. Bottom line, I'm coming back. Hope you are there cheering me on as I climb to the top and pass this guy. This guy is my passing on Sunday.
Yep.
For Phil, for Joe, for myself, thanks for watching again. We'll see you next week.
Check out the shirt.
Fuck Dallas.